Hey, what's up, guys? So I end up winning this battle here that I'm going to show you guys today. But the main thing is I just want you guys to see how my defense did. And the few changes I made turned out to work out pretty well for me. Overall, you can see the win today got me back into the top 250. Just barely, but I'm there. And this is the defense that I had. So I'm not sure that I'm going to make any changes to it. We'll see what happens, but for the most part, I think it's pulling what it needs to pull in each room and giving challenges where it needs to, because it's stretching my opponent's offense a little bit. And the first trial I had Darkhold with, I think, Noir in there, so he just ended up using Tangle Web, and so that really put me in a bind. But my offense was not doing well either, so there was a lot of things going on with that particular battle. And so I finished third. Actually, KJ P13 is the one that beat me trial 1, so it's kind of odd that he got hung up and I placed over him, because I thought he would make it to the final round, but he did not make it to the final round. I believe it was of course, the guy that's number 1, and I think it was the guy that's number 2. And you can see everybody's score was dipped a little bit, mostly because they had to probably double stack on Mephisto, but you can see where the defenses played a role. And I guess when you look at Flexo, when you look at Webslinger, they did pretty well overall, because they didn't get held back an entire room this whole week. So that's something to keep in mind as well when you see like Flexo's defense, and perhaps in the other videos I have this week, and some things you may want to do when you're looking at the guys' defenses in mind as well. So that still puts me quite a ways away from trying to get to M2. And I don't know that that's a realistic goal at this point, because there's still some things I'm trying to get sorted out with the room rules to really, I think, have a real chance at it. But I am 34 points away, so I don't even know if 2-1 would get me there if I went 2-1 this week. But I do hope to go 2-1, so we'll see where that places me, and if that puts me within range to even get there. So we'll see how it goes. But let's go ahead and take a look at the battles. This counter was trickier than I thought, and I'm glad I was able to use Apoc here, because it's very clear as you see this that I did need Apoc and the Mercs team, the 3-piece that is with Zemo, to get them going. And I did have them all as strikers, and so that helped quite a bit. But this particular defense is very solid that my opponent has, and it can really trip a guy up if you don't have 2 strong hitters, I would think, like I was able to take in with Old Man Logan and Apoc. And you can see Old Man Logan almost died there, and if that would have happened, then I would have had to cancel out. This would not have worked, and I would have needed to go in and sack this room and then try to clean it up. So once you guys see the double sack here, And fortunately, I have a pretty big size Infinity Watch, and that's the key for this particular counter. I do like still the Hero Guardians because they have death proofs, and Thor is able to go in and just on his passive retaliate a little bit, so that may help in some way or another. But I think the death proofs are pretty key because it enables, usually, even with the Spider Society team, to pull some of their ultimate abilities. And you see here that that's what's happening with the Red Goblin, the Carnage, the Gwenom. Now, there's no Void Knight, and I think that's still okay because what happens here is that he's just trying to force a double tap. At the end of the day, what I was able to do is go in with New Warriors and clean it up. So that makes for a pretty efficient finish when you look at going in with a team like this. But I don't know that my score was much different than his. So this is really a good defense and a good use of Hive Mind and Sasquatch. In particular, the reason I wanted you guys to see the Infinity Watch is because I had to go in with a number of attacks. As you see, Mephisto is not taking a turn. And so what I want to do is just make sure I pull his ult. This is where the durability of the Infinity Watch comes in handy, and they're able to last until I'm able to do that. And then when that happens, then I can pretty much, well, the team gets wiped out, and I can go in with New Warriors and just kind of finish them off. My first thought going into this counter with Superior 6 and Vulture was to actually use Lizard. And so when I talked to Updog, because he helped me with these attacks, and what he said is that you want to go in with Mysterio. And I was a little reluctant, but it appears that Mysterio is such a great addition. And so when you do this counter, you do want to use Mysterio and Vulture. So you're really going in with a Sin 6 version, and it's very effective to countering this Annihilator's team. So when I first thought about using Cabal here, I was a little worried about the room rules. But, you know, because the old man Logan is a part of this extreme team and Bishop. But with Kang, and then Updog made a suggestion just going with Absorber Man, it's really just like the prior seasons, and it's very quick, effective, and efficient to just go through and beat this team like you normally would. And the room rules just don't really come into play against this Cabal team here. And I was a little worried about going into the full Spider Society here with the 3-piece, meaning Photon, Secret Defenders, and Eternals. Now, they have worked on the cleanup But usually, you know, when there's a Mephisto, and usually there's no new war. Sometimes there's a new war. But I think what happens here is that the only risk is that Photon is the weakest link as a part of this team. And ironically, she puts in an extreme amount of damage as a raider, assisting Robbie as the striker. And that combination there has just convinced me that this is going to be okay. You keep using them as a cleanup on Mephisto, counters after you double sack, and any type of version of Superior 6, you can go in with the 3-piece Secret Defenders with Photon. But you do need a big Photon, because as you can see, mine is 2 diamond. So Captain Britain Illuminati is just a very safe, secure, and quick counter into this any type of Superior 6 team, Sinister 6 team, and I don't think any of the room rules are going to make a difference. But the question would be, how well can you do with the Iron Man version? And that's something to keep in mind, that you probably can still beat this team with the Iron Man version. It just may not be as efficient.